Good evening, all of you. I hope you all are doing well. And today we're going to study the modern history, movements, satyagraha, revolts. This is the part 2 of the series. Okay, let's start our today's session. Our first question: which one of the following association was founded in London by Dadabhai Nauroji in 1866? It's a very important question. Which one of the following association was founded in London by Dadabhai Nauroji in 1866? What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, the East Indian Association. Okay, the East India Association was founded by Dadabhai Nauroji in 1866 in collaboration with Indians and retired British officials in the London. Okay, so here you need to remember 3 points. East Indian Association is one of the very old foundation, or you can say association or grouping. It was founded by Dadabhai Nauroji in 1866. Okay, where it was founded? In London, not in India. Okay, by in the collaboration of lot of Indians and retired British officials in London, they have started the East Indian Association. Okay, next. Who drew Mahatma Gandhi's attention towards the exploitation of the peasants by the European indigo planters? Again, it's simple one we have discussed already. What is the answer? Who drew Mahatma Gandhi's attention towards the exploitation of the peasants by the European indigo planters? Let's see the answer. Answer is B, Rajkumar Shukla. Okay, so Champaran Satyagraha was started in 1917 and was the MK Gandhi's first Satyagraha movement, that is first civil disobedience movement in India. So in that Champaran Satyagraha, Rajkumar Shukla and Ram Lal Shah had invited the Mahatma Gandhi to look after the system of Tinkatiya. Okay, so this Tinkatiya system was there in the indigo planters in a roof. So that is very important. Tinkatiya system is related to the Champaran Satyagraha. So according to the Tinkatiya system, the planters, I mean the peasants, they have to grow indigo on the 3 by 20th of the total land. Okay, so 3 by 20th of the total land. It was forcible, forcibly the European planters have done this system, Tinkatiya system. Okay, so MK Gandhi was accompanied by the Dr. Rajendra Prasad, then the Braj Kishore Prasad, Acharya Kripalani, Dr. Anugrah Narayan Sinha, Mahadev Desai, C.F. Andrews, H.S. Fullock, Raj Kishore Prasad, Ram Navami Prasad, Shambhu Sharan, and uh, Dharindra Prasad. Okay, so these are people were also involved in that. But the people who drew the attention of the Mahatma Gandhi for this exploitation was the Rajkumar Shukla. Another person is Ramlal Shah. Okay, so here you need to remember Champaran Satyagraha when it happened, 1917. Okay, it is the first civil disobedience movement and it is one of the first Gandhi's Satyagraha movement in India. Okay, it was against the Tinkatiya system. It was founded by the European indigo planters in India. So what is Tinkatiya system? It is the peasants have to grow indigo on the 3 by 20 of the total land. Okay, so that is the Tinkatiya system. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next, Swarajya Party was formed following the failure of which movement Swarajya Party was formed? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A, non-cooperation movement. So Swarajya Party was formed by the Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das and was named as the Congress Khilafat Swaraj Party in 1922. Okay, it also claimed to be an integral part of the Congress and professes the adherence to non-violence and non-cooperation movement and decided to boycott the legislature. Okay, so usually this Swarajya Party was formed because of the failure of non-cooperation movement. And here you need to remember in 1922, this party was formed by the Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das. C.R. Das is Chittaranjan Das. Okay, next. Who left the Patna College with just 20 days remaining for his examination during the non-cooperation movement? Who left Patna College with just 20 days remaining for his examination during the non-cooperation movement? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Jayaprakash Narayan. Okay, so Jayaprakash Narayan, he left the Patna College with just 20 days remaining for his examination. That was during the non-cooperation movement. So after completing his matriculation examination at the age of 18 in 1920, Jayaprakash Narayan started working in the Patna. On the call of the nationalist leader Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad for giving up English education, he left the Patna College. Then barely 20 days before his exam, and he joined the Bihar Vidyapita, a college founded by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Okay, though the call for him had happened like that to stop the English education. That's why he left the Patna College barely 20 days before his exam and he joined the Bihar Vidyapita. It was a college founded by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So, leaving his wife Prabhavati in Sabarmati Ashram of Mahatma Gandhi, Jayaprakash Narayan sailed abroad, California in 1922 to join the Berkeley University. Okay, so these all events happen in his life. So here, what is the answer? Answer is C, Jayaprakash Narayan. He left the Patna College just 20 days before his examination. Okay, next. Which among the following year Santal revolt was occurred? Is one of the tribal revolt. In which year this Santal revolt happened? Let's see the answer. Answer is option D, 1855-56. Okay. The Santal revolt occurred during the 1855-56. It became the basis of the more recent, deadly, and infamous Naxalite movement. Okay, so you need to remember it happened on 1855 to 56. Okay, just before the year of Sipai Mutiny. Sipai Mutiny happened on 1857, right? Next. Consider the following movements. And here they have given the codes. You need to arrange the movements in the chronological order. What is the answer? What is the correct sequence of the movements here? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B. 3124 is the correct chronological order of the movements. Okay. So here Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, that is third one. Champaran Satyagraha. It happened on 1917. This is the first civil disobedience movement led by Mahatma Gandhi. We have already studied. Okay. So next, Mopla Rebellion. Okay, so Mopla Rebellion happened in the Mangalore, Malabar coastal region. Okay, it happened on 1921. Okay, so after that, Bardoli Satyagraha. So Bardoli Satyagraha happened on 1928 and it was led by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay, so that also you need to remember. And fourth one is Salt Satyagraha. Okay, Salt Satyagraha happened on 1930. So this is the correct sequence. 3, 1, 2, 4. Okay, next. After the Santal uprising subsided, what was the measure taken by the colonial government? So here quotes are given. You need to find out the correct answer using the quotes below, given below. First statement, the territories called Santal Paraganas were created. Second, it became illegal for a Santal to transfer land to a non-Santal. Which statements are correct? Which measures the colonial government took after the Santal uprising? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C. Both the statements are true. Okay. So after the Santal uprising, the colonial government they took some measures. Okay, because it was one of the Naxalite movement. Okay, kind of Naxalite movement. So that's why the territories called the Santal Paraganas they were created. Okay. Next, it became the illegal for Santal to transfer land to the non-Santal people. Okay, they can transfer their land to the Santal people itself, but the government made illegal for the Santal people if they transfer their land to the non-Santal people. Okay, so those two measures they were took. Okay, that's why answer is option C. Both these statements are true. Okay, next. Who among the following was the first leader to organize labor movement in India? Again, it's very important question. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A, B.P. Wadia. Okay, the most prominent leader of the labor movement is Mr. B.P. Wadia. It was the who it was the he who first started the labor union in India. Wadia is an ex-member of the Indian Home Rule League and a well-known theosophist. Okay, so Theosophical Society was there, right? In India, it was started by Annie Besant and Madame Blavatsky. Okay, he was the ex-member of that Indian Home Rule League as well as the Theosophical Society. He organized the first labor movement in India. Okay, so remember B.P. Wadia. Next. Who was the leader of revolutionaries in Bihar during the revolt of 1857? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, Babu Kanwar Singh. Okay. Babu Kanwar Singh, who was the revolutionary leader in Bihar during the revolt of 1857. Babu Kanwar Singh of Jagdishpur, he was the most notable figure of the revolt who wrote a glorious chapter in the history of India's first war of independence. And he actively led a band of armed forces of 4,000 soldiers. You can imagine, okay? He led the 4,000 soldiers army forces and he recorded the victories in many battles. Okay, and he successfully occupied the Ara on June 1857 and later with the help of Nana Sahib defeated the British forces at Ajamgarh. Okay, so because he gathered the 4,000 armed forces, 4,000 soldiers, and he led that piece of army in the 1857 revolt. okay, from Bihar. So I hope this is clear to you. Remember Babu Conversion. Next. Who among the following was believed to be a leader of sannyasis and fakirs conspiring against the British in 1857? What is the answer? Who among the following was believed to be a leader of the sannyasis and fakirs conspiring against the British in 1857? Let's see the answer. Answer is option D, Nana Sahib. Okay. Nana Sahib was the leader of the sannyasis and fakirs conspiring against the British in 1857 revolt. Next. Who among the following were the founders of the Hind Majdoor Sabha, established in 1948? Who among the following were the founders of the Hind Majdoor Sabha, established in 1948? Let's see the answer. Answer is option D, Ashok Mehta, T.S. Ramanujan, and G.G. Mehta. Okay, so these three people, they together, they founded the Hind Majdoor Sabha, okay, in 1948. So remember Ashok Mehta, T.S. Ramanujan, and G.G. Mehta. Next. Name the rebel who fought against the British in the Battle of Chinhad in the course of 1857 revolt. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A, Ahmadullah Shah. Okay. So Ahmadullah Shah, he is the rebel who fought against the British in the Battle of Chinhad in the course of 1857 revolt. That is the first war of independence. Okay, so remember Ahmadullah Shah. Next, who among the following was the founder of Young Bengal movement? It's again very one of the important question. Who among the following was the founder of Young Bengal movement? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A, Henry Vivian de Roggio. Okay, remember his name, Henry Vivian de Roggio. So Young Bengal movement was launched by Henry Louis Vivian de Roggio, 1809-1831, who had become the who had come to Calcutta in 1826 and was appointed in the Hindu College. Okay, he was professor in the Hindu College. In 1826, he came to the Calcutta, and he was the founder of Young Bengal movement. Okay, so remember Henry Vivian de Roggio. Next, what was or were the formative influences on the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi? Statements are given. You need to find out the correct answer using the quotes given below. The first statement, Gandhiji was influenced by the 18th century Pranami sect that what is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C. Okay, all the given statements are true. All these events influence the Gandhi's philosophy. Okay, so Gandhi's autobiography My Experiment with Truth mentions the Pranami sect. And according to him, the sect derived the best of the both Quran and the Gita. Okay, so that is unity of faith. And Gandhi had interest in the theosophy and studied books by theosophists such as Madame Blavatsky and Annie Besant. Okay, so those people also influenced the Gandhi's philosophy. Next, Gandhi's ideas were close to the Romanticism, and he admired the writings of the poet William Wordsworth. Okay, so as they advocated the non-violence. So that's why all the given statements are true regarding the Gandhi's philosophy. Okay, he was influenced by this Pranami sect, and he was influenced by the Theosophist, and he was the admirer of the writings of romantics like Wordsworth. Okay, next. Consider the following statements about the Salt March. And you need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. First statement, the Salt March was deliberately ignored by the European media. Second, the Salt March was widely covered by the American and European press. Third, the Salt March was the first nationalist activity in which women participated in large numbers. Fourth, the Salt March impressed upon the British the urgent need to devolve more power to Indians. Which statements are true regarding the Salt March? Think about it. Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, 2 and 3. Okay, 2 and 3 statements are true regarding the Salt March. So before that, we need to understand when the Salt March happened. Salt March, it started in March 12, 1930. Okay, it was initiated by Mahatma Gandhi against the British salt tax and to promote the salt production from the seawater. Okay, so this is the reason for Salt March and the movement when it started. Okay, March 12, 1930. And the movement was widely covered by the Indian, European, and American newspapers. Okay, and also saw the participation of large number of women in it. Okay, so look at the first statement. What is first statement saying? The Salt March was deliberately ignored by the European media. It is wrong because they deliberately covered it. Okay, so that's why first statement is wrong. Look at the second statement. What it is saying? The Salt March was widely covered by the American and European press. That is media. It is true. And third statement, the Salt March was first national activity in which women participated in the large numbers. That is also true. Okay. Next, this event shocked the British, and for the first time, they realized the power of Indians. Okay. So that's why option D is correct. Two and third statements are right. Look at the fourth statement. What it is telling? The Salt March impressed upon the British and urgent need to devolve more power to Indians. It did not impress any British, okay? And they did not, and eventually they did not devolve the more power to the Indians. Immediately they did not do like that. Okay, so that's why fourth statement is also not correct. So if you eliminate first and fourth statement, then you left with second and third. Okay, so that is the correct answer. And don't forget, Salt March happened on March 12, 1930. Okay. Next, the state of India where the Jallianwala Bagh is situated. It's a very simple question. What is the answer? In which state Jallianwala Bagh is situated? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Punjab. Okay. Jallianwala Bagh massacre, also known as the Amritsar massacre, that took place on the 13 April 1919. It is in the state of Punjab. Okay, so remember, it is situated in the Punjab. Next, which one of the following statements about the Quit India movement is not correct? Again, read carefully the question. They are asking which one is not correct regarding the Quit India movement. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C. Okay. So Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha actively participated in the movement. Okay, that is not true. By early 1944, India was mostly peaceful again, while the entire Congress leadership was incarcerated. Okay, so this was after the Quit India movement. Quit India movement started on 1942, right? That is in the August month 1942. And you can see the option A, B, and D. What it is telling in A, it broke out in August 1942, it is true. And B, Ahmedak built textile mills went to strike for more than 3 months. That is also true. And D, Communist Party did not support the movement. Again true. Here in the C, Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha, they actively participated in the movement. They did not. Okay, so they did not participate. Okay, look at here. A sense that the movement had failed depressed many nationalists, while Jinnah and the Muslim League, as well as Congress opponent like the Communist and Hindus extremists, they sought that gain political mileage, criticized the Gandhi. Okay, so in that moment. So that's why the Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha, they actively did not participate in the Quit India movement. Okay, so option C is the correct answer. Next. In 1920, which of the following changes its name to Swarajya Sabha? In 1920, which of the following changed its name to Swarajya Sabha? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A, All India Home Rule League. Okay, so this All India Home Rule League Foundation, it changed its name to Swarajya Sabha in the 1920. Okay, next. Which one of the following peasant struggle was an outcome of British opium policy? What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Fulaguri Dhava. Okay, peasants of the remote and decrepit village Fulaguri in central Assam, Nagon district, they had dealt the first blow to the British in the northeast in 1861. Okay, so Fulaguri is a small village. It's a remote area. It is in the Assam's region. And when you talk of specifically, it is in the Nagaur district. Okay, so these northeast people, they first time moved against the Britishers in 1861, and the revolt known as the Fulguri Dawa, in which the British official was killed. Okay, one of the British official was killed, and several police officers were injured, and it was triggered by a ban imposed on opium cultivation and proposed taxation on betel leaf and nut. Because of that, this Fulguri Dawa incident happened in the northeastern region that happened on 1861. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next, choose the correct of the incidents of Indian freedom movement in the chronological order. Again, here incidents are given, quotes are given. You need to find out the correct answer using the quotes given below. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A. ADCB is the correct sequence. Okay. Pune Agreement that happened between Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi on September 24, 1932. Then Forward Bloc was formed in 1939 by the Subhash Chandra Bose. So it means first Pune Agreement should come, A should come, then second one is D, establishment of the Forward Bloc by the Subhash Chandra Bose. Next, August offer was the proposal made by the British government in 1940. Okay. Next, thereby promised the expansion of the Executive Council of the Viceroy of India to include the more Indians. So it is all about the August offer. Next comes the Direct Action Day. It is on 16th August 1946. So it is also known as the Great Calcutta Killing. It was a day of underspread riot and manslaughter between the Hindus and Muslims in the city of Calcutta. That happened on 1946, August 16. So that's why the correct chronological order here is option A. Okay, so A, B, C, B. I repeat once again. The first is Pune Agreement, or you can say Pune Pact, happened on 1932. And second one is establishment of the Forward Bloc Party by Subhash Chandra Bose in 1939. Next comes the August Offer, 1940. Direct Action Day, 1946. Okay, next. Consider the following statements about the different meanings of Swaraja as articulated by Mahatma Gandhi. Again, statements are given and you need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. Consider the following statements about the different meanings of Swaraj as articulated by Mahatma Gandhi. Let's see the answer. Answer is option C. Okay, option D, 1, 2, and 3. All these statements are true. Okay, Swaraja movement, it was initiated by the Mahatma Gandhi, which emphasized on the self-rule, or you can say self-governance, and referred to Gandhi's concept of Indian independence from the British rule. See, look at here, Swaraja has the different meaning according to the different leaders. So according to the MK Gandhi, Swaraja means all these things. Swaraja is intimately linked with the Ahimsa, that is non-violence, and Satyagraha, that is adherence to the truth. So that is obviously true. According to the Gandhi, the Swaraja is related to this, Ahimsa and Satyagraha. Next, Swaraja has the two senses. One is political sense and one is beyond the realm of politics. Okay, so that is also true. Next, Swaraja is something that requires time and patience to acquire. Obviously, if you study about the Indian freedom struggle, it has took a lot of time to get the Swaraj. Right. So these all statements are true regarding the Swaraja, which was articulated by the Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, with determination, Swaraja could be obtained easily and quickly. It is not. Hence, option is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Next. Bhartali European Club was attacked in 1932 by. Bhartali European Club was attacked in 1932 by which person? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Preeti Lata Vadedar. Okay, so Preeti Lata Vadedar. So this person attacked the Bhartali European Club in 1932. Okay, next. Who led the revolt of 1857 in Bihar? Who led the revolt of 1857 in Bihar? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Kanwar Singh. Okay, Kanwar Singh from Jagdishpur, Bihar. He led the revolt of 1857 in the age of 18 years. He gave good fight to the British forces. Okay, so remember Kanwar Singh. He led the 1857 revolt in Bihar. Next, who launched the Bardoli Satyagraha on 4th February 1928? Who launched the Bardoli Satyagraha on 4th February 1928? I already told you this answer and we have already discussed in the previous class. What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is option B, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The Bardoli Satyagraha 1928 was a moment in the independence struggle which was led by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel for the farmers of the Bardoli against the unjust rising of taxes from Britishers. Okay, next. Here assertion and reasons are given. Assertion: Gandhiji's idea of satyagraha emphasized on the power of truth and the need to search for truth. Reason: Gandhiji believed that a satyagrahi could win the battle by appealing to the conscience of the oppressor. You need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. Let's see the answer. Answer is option C. Both the assertion and reasons are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, according to the Gandhiji, without seeking the vengeance or being aggressive, a satyagrahi could win the battle through non-violence. Because Gandhi highly believed in the non-violence. Okay, he was completely against the violence method, right? And this could be done by appealing to the conscience of the oppressor. Okay, conscience of the oppressor means the person who is against you. You should ask, or you should appeal to the conscience of the oppressor. Okay, so that is the true value of, or you can say power of true satyagrahi. So look at the assertion. Gandhiji's idea of satyagraha emphasized on the power of truth and the need to search for the truth. That is obviously true, right? So satyagraha itself means in search of truth. So next reason, Gandhi believed that a satyagrahi could win the battle. How he will win the battle? By appealing to the conscience of the oppressor, not by any means of violence. Okay, so just by appealing the conscience of the oppressor. So that's why both assertion and reasons are true, and reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, next. Bhagat Singh, Jatin Das, Batukeshwar, and others founded the Revolutionary Association called. What is the name of this Revolutionary Association? Founded by Bhagat Singh, Jatin Das, Batukeshwar. Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, Hindustan Socialist Republic Army. In short, it is HSRA. Okay, so Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, or you can say Republican Army. It was a revolutionary organization, also known as Hindustan Socialist Republican Army, established in 1924 at Firozshah Kotla in Delhi. Okay, so you need to remember it established on 1924 at the Firozshah Kotla in Delhi. By whom? By Bhagat Singh, Jatin Das, and Batukeshwar, and many more. Okay, so these all people together, they established the Hindustan Social Republican Army. Okay, next. Following two items consist of the two statements, statement 1 and statement 2. Examine these two statements carefully and select the correct answer using the codes given below. It's like assertion and reason type of question. Statement 1. The early Aryans, who were essentially pastoral, did not develop any political structure which could measure up to a state in either ancient or modern sense. Statement number 2. Kingship was the same as tribal chiefship. The term Rajan being used for tribal chief who was primarily a military leader and who ruled over his people and not over any specified area. Codes are given here. You need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. And this is related to the Vedic period. We have already completed, so you can easily answer this. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A. Both statements are individually true, and statement 2 is the correct explanation of statement 1. Okay, what statement 1 is telling? The early Aryans. Okay, so they are talking about early Aryans who were essentially the pastoral people. Okay, so we already studied they were pastoral people, and they did not develop any political structure which could measure up to a state in either ancient or modern sense. Okay, they were tribal people, they were pastoral people, their political structure was very poor. Okay, we are talking about the early Aryans. That's why statement number one is true. So look at the statement number two. What it is telling, kingship was the same as tribal chiefs. Because I already told you, these people were like tribal people. Apart, unlike the Indus Valley civilization people, these they were not town people. They were tribal people. Okay, so kingship was same as like the tribal chiefship, and the term Rajan being used for the tribal chief, okay, who was the primarily a military leader and who ruled over his people and not over the any specified area. So Rajan was the one person, he is the head of the tribal group. Okay, he is head of his people only, not over any specified area or anything like that. So that's why the promotion of a very good political structure did not happen in the early Aryans period, because that kingship is like like tribal chiefship, not like modern political structure which was existed during the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so that's why statement number one and statement number two, these two are individually true, and statement number two is correct explanation of the statement number one. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next, Mahatma Gandhi called off the non-cooperation movement after the Chauri Chaura incident because, it's very simple question. What is the answer? What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is option C. The movement had turned very violent. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi never supported non-violence. Okay. He never supported violence. Okay. He was always towards the non-violence. So Chauri Chaura is a town near the Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. This town is known most for an event in February 1922 during the British Raj, when police chowki means station. Okay, police station was set on fire by the mob of angry citizens. They killed the 22 policemen inside. Okay, they burned alive. So it's a very violent way to make any satyagraha or any protest. So that's why non-cooperation movement was stopped by the Mahatma Gandhi after the Chauri Chaura incident, because the movement had turned very violent. Even before the movement started, in the initial time, Gandhi told that it should done in a very non-violent way. Okay, he was supporter of the non-violence, right? But this movement has turned out to be very violent. That's why Gandhi forced to stop the non-cooperation movement. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Next, list 1 and list 2 are given. In list 2, events and acts are given, and list 2, year are given. You need to find out the correct match using the codes given below. So in list 1, Rowlatt Act, Salt March, Chauri Chaura incident, second roundtable conference. List number 2, 1922, 1931, 1930, 1990. What is the correct match here? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A, 4312. It is the correct match. So look at here, Rowlatt Act. So when it happened, Rowlatt Act, when it passed on 1919. Okay. Next B, Salt March. We already studied this. It happened in 1930. Okay. So March 12, 1930. Next, Chauri Chaura incident. Just now we have studied, right? It happened on 1922 in the Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. And D, second roundtable conference, it conducted on 1931. So that's why option A is correct. 4312 is the correct match. Okay. Next, who took over the movement started by the Congress in Awadh during 1921 and 22? Who is the head of this movement? What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, Madari Pasil. Eka movement, or you can say unity movement. It is a peasant movement which surfaced in the Hardoli and Bharai and Sitapur during the end of 1921 by the Madari Pasil. Okay, it is an offshoot of non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement also began at 1920s, right? It is one of the offshoot movement of the non-cooperation movement started by Madari Pasil. Okay, next. Match the following columns. Here column A and column B are given and quotes are given. Column A, Ambedkar established the Depressed Class Association. Second, in Gandhiji began the civil disobedience movement. Third, Gandhiji ended the civil disobedience movement. Fourth, Congress adopted the demand of Purna Swaraj. In column B, December 1929, August 1930, March 1930, March 1931. You need to match them. Okay, what is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B. Ambedkar established the Depressed Classes Association in August 1930. Okay, so first should match with B, August 1930. Next, Gandhi began the civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji began the civil disobedience movement in March 1930. Okay, next, Gandhiji ended the civil disobedience movement in next year, March 1931. Okay, exactly 1 year. Next, in December 1929, Lahore Congress adopted the demand for Purna Swaraj, that is complete independence. So that's why option B is the correct option. Then it is the correct match. Once again, I repeat, Ambedkar established the Depressed Class Association in August 1930. Then Gandhi began the civil disobedience movement in March 1930. And Gandhiji ended the civil disobedience movement March 1931. Then Congress adopted the demand for Purna Swaraja in December 1929. That is in the Lahore Congress session. Okay, next. In 1921, during which one of the following tours, Gandhiji shaved his head and began wearing cloth in order to identify with the poor? What is the answer? What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option D, South India. In 1921, during the town of South India, Gandhi shaved his head and began wearing the lion cloth in order to identify with the poor. And his new appearance also come to symbolize the asceticism and abstinence qualities he celebrated in opposition to the consumerist culture of the modern world. Okay, so it is all about representation of the India and Indian poor. Okay, it all started in one town of South India in 1921. Okay, next. Which one of the following is a very significant aspect of the Champaran Satyagraha? Which one of the following is a very significant aspect of Champaran Satyagraha? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, joining of peasants unrest to India's nationalist movement. Okay, so Champaran Satyagraha, they're asking which is the very significant aspect. So look at option A. What it is telling? Active all India participation of liars, students, and women in the national movement. It is not true. Champaran Satyagraha happened in 1917, which was led by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, it is in the Champaran district of Bihar. Lawyers, students, women participation was not that much. Okay, that is not true. Next, active involvement of Dalit and tribal communities. No, they did not participated in that. And D, drastic decrease in the cultivation of plantation crops and commercial crops. This is also not happened. Okay, so these A, B, and D are very irrelevant of the Samparan Satyagraha. So look at the option C, joining of peasants unrest to India's national movement. This happened. Okay, it is one of the significant aspect of the Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, so peasants unrest, they joined the India's national movement. So that's why option C is correct. Okay, next. Champaran Satyagraha was launched by Gandhiji against whom? What is the answer? So let's see the answer. Answer is option B, indigo planters. It's a very simple one, right? Gandhiji organized his first Satyagraha movement in Champaran to inspire peasants to struggle against the oppressive plantation system. So usually he launched the Champaran Satyagraha against the indigo planters and Tinkatiya system. Next, find out the correct statements with regards to the Rowlatt Act. Statements are given and quotes are given. You need to find out the correct answer using the quotes given below. Which statements are true regarding the Rowlatt Act? What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option D. Only 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. So look at the statement number 1. The Rowlatt Act was passed in 1919. This is true. Okay, it was passed in 1919. And the act was passed by the Imperial Legislative Council. That is true. British has passed it. Imperial Legislative Council. These two are true regarding the Rowlatt Act. So look at the third statement. The act allowed detention of the political prisoners without trial for 3 years. It is not true. Next, fourth statement. Protest against the act led to Jallianwala Bagh massacre in April 1920. This is also not true. Okay. Only statement 1 and 2 are correct regarding the Rowlatt Act passed in 1919. Okay. Next. Who among the following was known during the days of Rowlatt Revolt of 1857 as Danka Shah? Who among the following was known during the days of the revolt of 1857 as Danka Shah? What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, Maulvi Ahmadullah Shah. Okay. Maulvi Ahmadullah Shah was known as the Danka Shah, okay, or the Maulvi with a drum during the revolt of 1857. Danka Shah means the Maulvi with a drum. Okay, so remember Maulvi Ahmadullah Shah. He is called as Danka Shah in the revolt of 1857. Next. Which of the following statements about the non-cooperation movement is or are correct? And you need to find out the correct answer using the quotes given below. Which statements are true regarding the non-cooperation movement? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B. 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so these statements are true. Third one is not true. Okay. most of the South Indian participated in the non-cooperation movement. Karnataka, which remained the unaffected. There were some non-Brahmin lower caste participation in Madras and Maharashtra. Okay, so look at the option number 3, statement number 3. What it is telling? It was marked by the lack of labor unrest in places like Assam, Bengal, and Madras. Okay, so it is not true. So apart from all that, so look at the first and second, fourth statement. It was marked by significant partition of peasants from the Karnataka. Then it was marked by non-driving lower caste participation in Madras and Maharashtra. Next, fourth one, it was badly shaken by the Chauri Chaura incident in 1922, after which Gandhiji decided to continue with the movement on much smaller scale. These all are true, except the third one. Okay, so that's why option B is correct. Next, assertion and reasons are given. Assertion, the civil disobedience movement was different from the non-cooperation movement. Reason, people in the civil disobedience movement were asked not only to refuse cooperation with the British but also to break the colonial laws. Here you need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Both the assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, so look at the assertion. The civil disobedience movement was different from the non-cooperation movement. Obviously true. In the reason, they are telling how these are different. Okay, how these two are different. In what ways civil disobedience and non-cooperation movements are different. Okay, so in reason, people in the civil disobedience movement, they were asked not only to refuse the cooperation with the British, but also to break the colonial laws. Disobedience. Okay, so obey and disobey. What they are not obeying here? Colonial laws. They are not asked to break the colonial laws in the civil disobedience movement. But when it comes to the non-cooperation movement, what it happens? Not cooperating to the government. That is non-cooperation. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. That is the main difference between the civil disobedience and non-cooperation movement. So that's why both assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay. Next. The revolt of 1857 was a landmark in the history of India because quotes are given below. Option number A, it taught Indians to fight against the common enemy. Second, gave confidence, courage, and hope to the Indian people. And third, transfer the power from the company to the British crown. D, spread all over India and involved all Indians. Okay, you need to find out the correct answer using the quotes given below regarding the revolt of 1857. Why it is very landmark in the history? Landmark war in the history. Look at the answer. Answer is option A, B, and C. Okay, it is not C. It is option number A. So look at here. First, what it is telling? It taught Indians to fight against the common enemy. 1857 revolt, what we call? We call it as a first war of independence, right? Obviously, it is the first war of independence, and it taught to the Indians to fight against the common enemy, that is the Britishers. That is true. Next, look at the B. It gave confidence, courage, and hope to the Indian people because for the first time they united together and they worked and they fought for the common enemy, Britishers. So that's why it gave the confidence, courage, and hope to the Indian people through the revolt of 1857. So that is true. And look at the C. It transferred the power from company to the British crown. That's very true because the Act of Good Government, that is 1858, where all the East India Company's power got transferred to the British Crown, and Crown is directly ruling the India after the first war of independence in 1857. That is also true. Okay, so A, B, and C are true. So look at the option number D. Spread all over India and involved all the Indians. It is very extreme, right? In fact, this 1857 revolt, it confined to the North India only. Okay, it did not spread to the southern India, southern part of the India. Okay, it confined to the northern part of the India. So that's why all India participation was not there. Okay, so that's why option D is not correct. Apart from that, A, B, C are correct. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Next, the year of the partition of Bengal was. Again, it's very simple one. The year of partition of Bengal was. Let's see the answer. Answer is option B, 1905. Okay, the partition of Bengal took place on the 16th October 1905 and separated the largely Muslim eastern areas from the largely Hindu western areas. And the partition of Bengal was announced by the Viceroy Lord Curzon. Okay, so that we need to remember. It happened on 1905 by the Lord Curzon. Next. Who was the Governor General of India in 1857? Who was the Governor General of India in 1857? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Canning. Canning was the Governor General of India during the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Okay, next. The indigo farmers were facing oppressive conditions for a long time. However, they decided to rebel against the planters in 1859 because. What is the answer? The indigo farmers, or you can say rights, they were facing oppressive conditions for a very long time. However, they decided to rebel against the planters in 1859 because. What is the reason? Let's see the answer. Answer is option B. Rights, it means farmers or peasants. They had the support of local zamindars, village headmen, as well as of the British government. Okay, that's why they decided to rebel against the planters in 1859. That is the reason. Okay. The local zamindars, village headmen mobilized the indigo peasants and fought pitched battles with the Letians. So that is the main reason. Okay. Next. The Simon Commission was boycotted in India because. Again, it's a very simple one. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option E. There was A. There was no Indian member in the commission. Okay. So why Simon Commission was boycotted in India? Because it consisted of all British people, all white people. Okay, there was no Indian member. That's why Go Back Simon slogan happened and Simon Commission was boycotted in India. Okay, next. Assertion and reasons are given again. In assertion, Mahatma Gandhi called off the civil disobedience movement and entered into a pact with Irvin in 1931. Reason, industrial workers in Sholapur attacked structures that symbolize the British rule. You need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Both assertion and reason are true and R is the correct explanation of the A. Okay. Look at the assertion. Mahatma Gandhi called off the civil disobedience movement. Okay, it started in 1929, right? Started in, 1930 and entered into the fact with the Irvin 1931. That's very true. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi called off the civil disobedience movement and don't confuse it with the non-cooperation movement. Okay, non-cooperation movement was also called off by the Mahatma Gandhi. It was because of what? Chauri Chaura incident in 1922. But here we are talking about civil disobedience movement. Don't confuse with that. Okay, civil disobedience movement started at 1930, ended in March 1931. Okay, so that's why Mahatma Gandhi called off the civil disobedience movement and entered into the fact with Irwin 1931. Okay, so that's true. Next in reason, industrial workers in Sholapur, they attacked the structures that symbolize the British rule. So that is the one of the reason why Mahatma Gandhi called off the civil disobedience movement. So that's why both assertion and reasons are true, and R is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next. The following are the two items consist of two statements. Statement 1 and statement number 2. Examine these two statements carefully and select the correct answer using the codes given below. It's same like assertion and reason. Statement number 1. The communists left All India Trade Union Congress in 1931. Statement number 2. By 1928, the communists were no longer working with the mainstream national movement. What is the answer here? Let's see the answer. Answer is option C. Statement number 1 is true, but statement number 2 is false. So what is statement number 1 states? The communists left All India Trade Union Congress in 1931. It is true. This is a fact. Okay, you need to remember the communists, they left the All India Trade Union Congress in 1931. And statement number 2, by 1928, the communists were no longer working with the mainstream national movement. That is wrong. Okay, so that is wrong. So that's why statement number 1 is right. Statement number 2 is wrong. Okay, I hope this is clear. So in this topic, we learned the modern history, movement, satyagraha and revolts part 2. If you have any doubts regarding these questions, let me know in the comment section. And please solve all test series given in the If you have any doubts regarding these questions we have discussed till now, let me know in the comment section. Okay guys, I assume there are no doubts. Thank you so much and see you in the next class.